Requirement of Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, notice is hereby given that this is a regular meeting of the Borough of Highlands Mayor and Council, and all requirements have been met. Notice has been transmitted to the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times. Notice has been posted on the public bulletin board. Formal action will be taken. Executive session resolution. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act, Public Law 1975, Chapter 231 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances. And whereas the public body is in the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss attorney-client privilege, sewer maintenance, redevelopment, plan for Block 105.107, Lot 1.1, contract negotiations, COMSA, cable television franchise renewal, tax abatement, and reassessment. Minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality above notes no longer require that confidentiality, and the minutes will be made public. Now therefore be resolved, the mayor and council go into executive session to discuss the above items, and the public is excluded from this meeting. Do I have a motion?
I'll second.
Councilmember Roswell?
Yes.
Councilmember Breon?
Yes.
Councilmember Diariga?
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan is absent. Mayor O'Neill?
Yes.
Council is entering into executive session at 7:05 p.m. As per the requirement of Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, notice is hereby given that this is a regular meeting of the Borough of Highlands Mayor and Council. All requirements have been met. Notice has been transmitted to the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times. Notice has been posted on the public bulletin board. Formal action will be taken. Can everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Councilmember Broswell?
Here.
Councilmember Breon?
Here.
Councilmember Diariga? Here. Councilmember Ryan is absent. Mayor O'Neill?
Here.
Consent agenda. We have Resolution 18-113. Resolution 18-114. Authorized payment of bills. Resolution 18-114. Appoint temporary summer seasonal employees. Resolution 18-115. Authorize advertisement for request for proposals for reassessment services. And Resolution 18-116. Authorize individuals to sign Highlands court account.
I'll make a motion. I need to abstain from the payment of the unused extra to myself.
That's 18-122, I believe.
Yes, but it's on the payment of bills.
Okay. So you're making a motion to remove that one item from the payment.
Correct.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second
Councilmember Roswell?
Yes.
Councilmember Breon?
Yes.
Councilmember Diariga?
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan is absent. Mayor O'Neill?
So that item will be voted on with regard to R 18-122 at that time.
Yes. We'll do the consent agenda first and go back to 113. Okay, so the consent agenda currently exists of 18-114, 18-115, and 18-116. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that.
I'll second.
Roll call. Councilmember Broswell?
Yes.
Councilmember Breon?
Yes.
Councilmember Diariga?
Yes, but can we explain a little bit about why 18-115? Can you explain that a little bit to the public?
Yes.
What happened was before we were in, sorry, hold on, it wasn't my portion here. What happened was before we were in the county program, right, and we removed ourselves out, we had a contract with the company to do the assessment. When we pulled out, the contract could have continued. The company has now decided they would like us to RFP for the contract to start it over. We are not looking at a dollar amount change. It would be a date change, and it's just a continuation of the contract that already exists. So I would put out, advertise and put out for another RFP, which would invite other companies as well.
Continuing the roll call vote, Councilmember Ryan is absent. Mayor O'Neill?
Yes.
The consent agenda has been properly approved. Resolution 18-113, authorized payment of bills. Do I have a motion?
I'll make it.
Oh, second.
Yes. Roll call.
Councilmember Roswell?
Yes.
Councilmember Breon?
Yes.
This is for authorizing payment of bills. Abstain? Councilmember Diorigo?
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan is absent. Mayor O'Neill?
Yes.
Resolution 18-113 has been properly approved. Continuing on with the resolutions, Resolution 18-117, place-to-place transfer of liquor license 1317-33 and 012.
We have both the applicant and the complainants represented here. I'm going to give them a chance to speak before.
I appreciate that, Mayor. I'm discretionary, and I promise to be very brief. My name is Bernard Riley. I'm actually appearing for another attorney, Ron Gazabrowski, who represents a Mrs. Tierney, who is a neighbor of the premises. And I just have a really kind of brief point, a couple points I'd like to make. I reviewed the transcript of the hearing that occurred in January before the planning board. And what came out of that hearing, at least as I read the transcript, was that was uncertain as to what was permitted in the premises. And apparently the premises had kind of morphed over a number of years. Maybe the enforcement was a little more difficult, or wasn't done perhaps as well as it could have been. And so when it came before the planning board ended up saying they needed more information about how many seats were actually permitted in the premises. And as I understand it, that answer was never, the applicant withdrew the application, did not proceed with it, because, and decided to continue with whatever they think they're permitted. I would respectfully submit that before you grant such a place-to-place transfer, that you condition it, you either have it researched as to what would be the permitted seating in the premises, and the permitted use in the premises, under what a board did years ago. And as I read the transcript, there were various proceedings over the years where to expand the premises and so forth, and have that either approve this with the condition that the premises have to comply with the last planning board or board of adjustment approval, or defer this for 2 weeks or whatever until that answer is defined, and condition it upon compliance with that. That's my point on that, and I would respectfully submit to merely allowing it to be transferred without making a determination of what's being transferred, what is the approved capacity and use of the premises. I would respectfully submit is not appropriate, and frankly, I think it kind of leaves the neighborhood a little bit at the mercy of what has occurred over the years. So I think that would be, I would respectfully request and submit that's what the board should do, governing body. The second point I would make, and it really kind of brings into the next item, which is regarding the award of lease of the parking facility. Part of the issue is obviously parking for the premises, and as I understand it, they have been using this parking lot as part of their parking capacity. I think, again, all of this has to hinge on what is permitted there before you award a lease for certain parking facilities, when there's no clear definition. As I understand, I'm really kind of quoting your planning board, because they seem to be at a loss as to what was actually the permitted use and the capacity, seating capacity, and so forth. So I think before you act on both of those items, that should be found out, or it should be conditioned upon compliance with whatever the last planning board or zoning board action was. And I just make one other comment about this, the lease of the lot. As I understand it, again, I haven't researched it, I just got involved in this the past day, and there are issues regarding leasing of a parking lot that is used by people who are going to the beach and that sort of thing. And I don't know if that's been fully researched. So with that, I would ask that the governing body either defer this to find out exactly what is permitted and condition disapproval on compliance with what's permitted, or condition it right now and then have it found out by your zoning officer or zoning official, and have that person make a defined interpretation of what is permitted. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Sir? Mayor, I'm John Junko from Giordano, Howard, here on behalf of this applicant. The fact of the matter is that everything Mr. Riley has asked for has been achieved here. The subject matter of this application is called a transfer of place to place. It really has to do with the configuration of one of the bars that will in the facility. And just quickly, when we went to the planning board, we realized that the time frame was such that this couldn't be effectively completed for our clients to open for the season. We approved the application and then went about complying with the existing condition. In fact, it's my understanding, and I think that the consultants can confirm this, in the area that is in question under number 117, there is 121 seats. And this was in an area that had a bar that was basically a straight bar that has now been converted to become, I'll call it an elbow bar, but it actually has a 90-degree turn to permit an area to be under a covering. The exact number of 121 seats is what our initial review with your officials, if I may, to determine what was the existing condition and how can we continue it. The zoning issue was issued at 121 spaces. We remain at 121 spaces. And I couldn't find a basis, by the way, in the administrative code that relates to this issue of place-to-place transfer, but it was requested by one of the municipal officials, and we're here to just confirm it was 121 seats precisely that were determined by the zoning officer to be in that area. Our application was for the 121 seats that were there with the configuration adjusted with the bar. Now, that's already been issued. Building permits have been issued, and that construction is underway. And I'm not even sure that we have to do anything with ABC, but based on hopefully your approval tonight, we will, of course, contact them and determine what, if anything, needs to be delivered. In any event, it is exactly what was approved and operated in the past. Now, that's that issue. And in terms of the parking, if you want to discuss that also, I think that's a very simple issue. It was published in appropriate form. The procedures and the technique use of that parking lot serves the public as the statute requires, and I believe that's what Mr. Gazarovski has referred to in some prior correspondence. And for whatever it is worth, my own analysis of that, I think that the borough has followed its requirements that you're obligated to under statute precisely. We've gone through a bidding process that is now complete. It's my understanding that there was only one bid, and it was our client, and that doesn't preclude the use of portions of the parking lot by anyone in public who wants to go to the beach or use it. And so on both of those issues, I think that there is no need for conditions. There's no real need for delay. I think these are all issues we've dealt with between my client, their architects and designers, and the building department and the zoning officer and town engineer. So if there are any questions, I'll certainly be willing to try and answer them. Anybody here have any questions?
No, but
Thank you. Okay. I have to agree with you, sir. No disrespect to Mr. Riley. I don't know how this quite got to the point. Okay, I believe the renting, the leasing of that lot was on the up. And that way for years, and I believe that. I believe that's true. I went down to the bar yesterday with the administrator, and I looked at it, and it's exactly what you're saying that it is. Just a different configuration. Why these two things are tied together, I don't know. But with that being said, I agree. What we have here is what we have here.
Well, my client did want me to make sure that all of you understood that he understands the 121 seats in that patio area, and he will stand by that, and whatever inspections or checkups want to be made in that area, we are prepared to satisfy those requirements.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything to say on the issue? Then I'll make a motion that we approve this.
Do I have a second? This is resolution 18-117, the place to lease transfer the liquor license. We have a motion from the mayor. Do I have a second? The motion is not moved. This is 117. So resolution 18-117 was not moved. Second. Resolution 18-118, approve award lease of municipal property designated as Block 56, Lot 13. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it. I would also like to change and second the mayor's place-to-place transfer. I spent the last 3 days since I found out about this on Monday reviewing every transcript from these hearings. And I don't know if Mr. Harriman would like to bring this up, but the zoning officer approved the total number of seats, which is 286, which equates to 72 spaces based on the borough's ordinance of 8 spots per 1,000 square feet. That is the higher threshold of seating. This lot that's in question is a divided lot. There's a chain link fence. There's about 56 to 60 spots at the chain link fence that goes towards the water side. And Wyndham C has 31 on-site spots. That's a total of 87 spots that Proving Ground has. So by this floor area of 9,787 square feet, that equates to 78 spots, where they have the capacity for 87. They are within the law, regardless of my own personal circumstances, as I live around the corner from this restaurant, and I've been affected from the prior owners' issues with that restaurant. I took an oath to obey the law, and this is the law is to be followed.
There's been a second on resolution 18-117. The motion was made by the mayor and seconded by Councilmember Breon. Roll call vote. Councilmember Broswell.
I have to abstain.
Councilmember Breon.
Yes.
Councilmember Diarigo.
I'm going to abstain also.
Councilmember Ryan is absent. Mayor O'Neill. The resolution 18-117 has been properly approved. Going back to resolution 18-118, we have a motion from the mayor, a second from Councilmember Breon. Roll call vote. Councilmember Broswell.
This is for 118.
This is 118, the lease of the parking lot.
Okay, I have to abstain too, please, from that.
Councilmember Breon.
Yes.
Councilmember Diarigo.
I'm going to say no.
Councilmember Ryan is absent. Mayor O'Neill.
Yes.
Resolution 18-118 has been properly approved. Resolution 18-119, award a fair and open contract for the drainage improvements to Cedar Street project. Do I have a motion?
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Councilmember Broswell?
Yes.
Councilmember Breon?
Yes.
Councilmember Diarigo?
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan is absent. Mayor O'Neill.
Yes.
Resolution 18-119 has been properly approved. Resolution 18-120, award a fair and open contract for improvements to Hillside Avenue and Portland Road. Do I have a motion?
I'll make it.
I'll second. Roll call.
Councilmember Broswell?
Yes.
Councilmember Breon?
Yes.
Councilmember Diarigo?
Yes.
And Councilmember Ryan is absent. Mayor O'Neill.
Yes.
Resolution 18-120 has been properly approved. Resolution 18-121, award a fair and open contract for professional services for a licensed planner to prepare a redevelopment plan for Block 105, 107, and Lot 101.
I'll make it.
That is the resolution that is currently blank. We are appointing CME for 7,200.
Amount not to exceed 72.
Amount not to exceed 7,200. Do I have a motion?
I made it.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Broswell?
Yes.
Councilmember Breon?
Yes.
Councilmember Diarigo?
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan is absent. Mayor O'Neill.
Yes.
Resolution 18-121 has been properly approved. Resolution 18-122, authorized refund of remaining unused escrow. Do I have a motion?
I'll make it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, Councilmember Broswell,
Yes.
Councilmember Breon,
Abstain.
Councilmember Diariga,
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan is absent, Mayor O'Neill. Resolution 18-122 has been properly approved. Resolution 18-123, authorized refund of sewer inspection payment. Do I have a motion?
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Councilmember Broswell,
Yes.
Councilmember Breon,
Yes.
Councilmember Diariga,
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan is absent, Mayor O'Neill.
Yes.
Resolution 18-123 has been properly approved. Resolution 18-124, authorized emergency contract due to a lateral disconnection at 31 Washington Avenue. Do I, second?
I'll second.
Councilmember Broswell,
Yes.
Councilmember Breon,
Yes.
Councilmember Diariga,
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan is absent, Mayor O'Neill. Resolution 18-124 has been properly approved. Ordinances, public hearing and possible adoption. Ordinance 18-12, amend of Chapter 21, revisiting floodplain. It was advertised in the Asbury Park Press on May 9th, 2018. And you open to the public.
I'll fuck up.
I'm going to be very short, I suppose you want me to get up and miss.
Take me back to my seat.
Don't get too comfortable.
Oh, not to worry. There's so much stuff in this ordinance that I just want to caution the council that they have thoroughly read and understood all of it, because obviously you haven't thoroughly read all the other resolutions, so I don't know how you could understand this lengthy ordinance. But nevertheless, I just want to caution you that we don't get caught off guard with all the verbiage and everything else that's in this resolution, because I certainly don't understand it. We've got AO zones and AH zones and all kinds of new zones. I don't understand where they are or who they are from the resolution. So I hope you guys do, because if you don't, then the town will be in really big trouble, which it already is. Thank you.
With regard to your comments, the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection has approved the ordinance as drafted. The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection had contacted the borough and indicated that they do need to update the flood damage prevention ordinance to remain in the NFIP program, and that if they fail to enact this ordinance by June 20th, the date of the adoption of the flood maps through FEMA, that they could be taken out of participation in the NFIP program. DEP was intimately involved in the preparation of this ordinance and approved every detail, as well as the borough's engineer floodplain manager. So hopefully that answers some of your questions about the terminology. But they were very involved in this process, the DEP.
Anyone else? Ms. Scorpio?
Kim Scorpio, Short Drive. I just have a quick question. In the definition section, where is the definition of the VO zone?
Yeah.
You say you saw a VO zone? Or you're asking?
In the definition for area of shallow flooding, it says a designated AO, AH, or VO zone on communities, yada, yada, yada. And I see AO zone and AH zone in the definitions, but I do not see a definition for VO. And I'll be honest, I didn't read this very thoroughly. I just said, oh, well, what's that definition? And, you know, of course, I seem to be the one that finds makes sense.
So here. Kim, what page?
It's an area of shadow flood.
Third page, under section 21.
21-113. Wait,
Oh, I'm
which
not
one?
definition.
Whichever one has the year.
Do we have a VO zone?
I don't believe there is a VO zone.
Yeah, I don't,
I don't, in inspections with DEP, they didn't want any definition of that. They did the definitions here, so if you want to strike it, make the method.
VO zone.
Yep.
I don't believe that either.
Thank you, Ms. Court.
yeah, it's just, I think we did away with all that.
Anyone else?
Ed, are you aware of VO zone?
I don't believe there is such a thing.
Right. Okay.
Anybody else? None?
Okay, do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 18-12?
I'll second. Or, Claudette, you should.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Roswell?
Yes.
Councilmember Breon?
Yes.
Councilmember Diariga?
Yes,
And Councilmember Ryan is absent. Mayor O'Neill?
Yes.
Ordinance 1812 has been properly adopted. Ordinance 1813, amend Chapter 17, which established a business improvement district, was advertised in the Asbury Park Press on May 8, 2018. We need to open the meeting to the public.
Open. Score.
I'm actually gonna come up because I need to make as you know, when you tried to pass this ordinance in January, I told you the list of properties was incomplete, included some that shouldn't be, didn't include others, and I believe that this is still incomplete and that it should not be adopted. My first question is on Block 9, Lot 7. It's 1 South Bay. It's a vacant grass lot at the corner of South Bay and Ringo up the hill to the bridge. And I wasn't sure if that had to do with zoning or just a favor, because my next question is on Block 9, Lot 6, which is Highland Avenue. That's the road that goes from Bay up to the bridge. And that's currently being used by bars as overflow parking. Sign specifically says parking for movies and bars only. To me, that's clearly a commercial property and should be included in the tax, but it is not on the list.
Which one is that? 1 South Bay?
That one is Block 9, Lot 6. 1 South Bay is a vacant grass lot that nobody's using. This is the parking lot that's between the grass lot and the small house at the top of the hill.
Okay, that was the old Careless Navigation.
Right.
So are you saying block 9, lot 6, block 9, lot 7 should be included?
Yes.
Okay, because I'll tell you, the tax assessor went through this for several weeks and several iterations of it, so, but I understand what you're saying.
Okay. And again, you might be right. These were questions that, someone can get back to me to say, oh yeah, that's an oversight, or no, this is why we're leaving it off.
No, we're happy to ask the tax assessor, because he's the one who can answer that question.
Because if he's gonna take off a parking lot for a restaurant, we should probably take off parking lot for C Street too. Just to be fair to everybody. My next question, because I've been trying to go block to block order to help you guys keep it organized. Block 10, lot 2 is 108 Hillside Avenue. That is the body scan center. It's, I believe, a chiropractic office, and if you're not sure if it's commercial property, he's got a deep parking lot with 4 line spaces. Again, it's up to the tax assessor, but to me it looks like that's a commercial property, or at least partially commercial property.
Body scan.
Block 10, lot 2, it's missing, it's not on the list, but I believe, in my layman's opinion, I think it should be there. My next question is,
Yeah.
Block 60, lot 7.01. This is 113 Shore Drive, and it is a house. So I'm just curious, there's no indication that it's a commercial property.
Block 60, lot what?
60, lot 7.01. 113 Shore Drive. I'm sorry, I am sitting around, my bad. Block 46, lot 3 is on here, but they're not being charged the tax. That's for Maldives. And block 47, lot 6 which is the corner property, at Cornwall. They're on the list but not being charged the tax. And as far as I can read in the ordinance, vacancy has nothing to do with whether or not you have to pay the tax.
If they were just added onto the list,
Nope,
they wouldn't
they-
have to pay the tax.
Nope, they were on the list in January.
Oh, okay.
And when I looked at the tax bills, they were not charged the tax.
That's, what was that, one?
But that was read,
47, lot 6?
yeah.
That used to be like
I can answer that. So if you're on a tax roll in 2018, you'll be billed when the new tax bills come out in 2018. So if you saw it online that they didn't get a tax, that tells me that they were not on for 2017.
They were on the ordinance for 2017. They were an existing property, but they were never charged the tax.
So, good.
And then, just a general question about, Sandhook developers, the new marina, the new Bay Point Inn. How long does it take to update the tax map? Because it still shows a flood line halfway up the parking lot, which is now above the floodplain, and it still shows Paradise Park. Now, I know they've been under construction. I just wasn't sure what the tax assessor's timeline is for updating the tax map.
Does that come from the county?
The engineer updates the tax map, not the assessor.
Okay. Do we know when the engineer's gonna get that? Or work on it? Is there a timeline?
I will contact the engineer.
Okay. Again, no rush, because I know,
We're
I know
still
the
doing
timing.
construction, so it kind of doesn't make sense, because then we have to pay for them to do it.
Right.
So once the construction is finished,
Right.
we'll get that tax map updated.
It's typically not done yearly.
Yeah.
So,
No, well, when they just do, I mean, this is a major construction project. I wasn't sure if it'd be like sometime this year, sometime in the next 4 years.
No.
we just get tax
Paradise,
maps.
Oklahoma, that's the other one.
Yeah. They
That
haven't
one,
finished doing the construction.
Right, they're not done yet.
but they were lax in breaking down the property to each unit, because people come in and pay their pay their taxes and couldn't, but I believe that's at the county level.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Oh, it's Marco.
No, I'll go through very short. I just wanted to point out, the marina and the Bay Point Inn have been done. So well,
No, they haven't, but they're on the same tax map as Holte Homes. We're not gonna pay engineering to redo a tax map and then wait until Holte Homes finishes doing their building and then redo the tax map again.
oh, I thought they separated them at some point
No,
in time.
it's on the same tax map, is what I'm saying, the physical flat map.
They are separate.
They are
Two
separate.
businesses are separate.
So
But
why
the
do you
tax
think
map
you
hasn't
want
been
that
updated.
together?
Because it's in the survey, the tax plate, and I look online to look at the lot numbers in the map.
Okay.
I think
It's in the works. Anybody else on this issue? In, both public boards. What's the pleasure of the table? Does anybody want to make a offer? Or does anybody have a comment on the first?
I'll offer, as long as there's going to be some revisions, that's fine, you said you were gonna update here.
I'm sorry?
Through the tax.
The
Or-
tax assessor
or
worked
the
on
tax
this for
assessor
several
going
weeks,
to-
so he needs to amend it again. You can always do so. I mean, we just got thrown a lot of block and lot numbers to investigate. So I know he had his reasons for what's on, what's not, but we can always check with him.
Yeah, let's do that. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Roswell?
Abstain, please.
Councilmember Breon?
Yes.
Councilmember Diorigo?
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan is absent. Mayor O'Neill?
Yes.
Ordinance 1813 has been properly adopted. Other business, moms demand action.
Mom's demanding action.
That was an email that was just sent yesterday. It was from a parent, right, who, would like to have a day where, the town has orange ribbons out, against gun violence, and gun safety, for gun safety. I can give council more information on that. I was just asked to, bring it up at tonight's meeting. and I will forward it to you in an email if you would like to move forward with anything.
So when the West
It is.
There's wants this, but it's not, it's claiming not to be, having an effect on the Second Amendment and all that kind of stuff. They have to. That's not recommended to us, it's not sure.
Yeah, sure.
Engineers report?
Good evening. The engineers report, happy to report that the 2017 road improvement program, predominantly on roads up on top of the hill, is generally complete, substantially complete at this moment in time. The contractor will be getting what we call a punch list of small ticket items of restoration and things like that that need to be completed yet, which is typical at the end of the project. General cleanup, restoration of lawn areas and things of that nature. Happy to say that we didn't get any phone calls after all the rain that we had, so that's always an encouragement. I know it was a challenging project, but through a lot of diligence and efforts, I think we got a pretty good finished product. I think most would agree. I think we have a lot of positive feedback from the residents up there as well. So we'll be wrapping that up in the next couple of weeks with the contractor to get a quote out there. The Shore Drive pump station, we went out to bid. We have contracts back. I will get them to the borough attorney for his review. In the meantime, we will coordinate a pre-construction meeting to get that project moving. Just for awareness, that is to replace one of the three pumps at the pump station down next to the firehouse as a pilot program to determine if that is a better pump than we have in there presently. If that works satisfactorily, our expectation is that moving forward, we would replace the remaining pumps. Those are heavy use pumps, so they're constantly under wear. So the goal there would be to get a smoothly operating product that's good for the long term and hopefully reduce maintenance. Time will tell. That's why we're doing one pump as a pilot.
If not for me, we probably wouldn't have to replace all three pumps, probably two will do.
Well, I mean, you have three. There's no harm in having, from an operation standpoint, but we are constantly changing out one versus the other. Our
The new pumps have significantly less maintenance, correct?
That is our understanding. Yes, that is our understanding. I'm always cautious to present too much in the way of promises. That's the expectation. That's what we believe to be the case. Like I said, that's why we're doing one. Time will tell. That's our expectation. The Veterans Park Electric project is on the move. We've got a utility pole placed. All the services have been transferred. The lines, the new transformer. Met with the contractor of record for the project yesterday. We did the layout, went over the inner workings of the project. We expect, hopefully the contractor will be manning the project next week. His expectation is it's about 2 weeks worth of work effort. And so we're looking forward to moving that along. I know there's a couple summer events there that are hopefully anticipating using a nice new electric system. So we have been in touch with both high-level officials from Verizon and Jersey Central Power and Light. They've been generally cooperative in getting what we need done over there, so we have been working very closely with them. So we're looking forward to getting that project completed and up. We also have been working on the Valley Street stormwater design, working with CME in a combined effort to get those projects finalized. We have given them our portion of that project, and we believe they're compiling the completion of that as we speak. The 2016 CDBG program for sanitary sewer repairs was submitted to the county's office for CDBG. They have committed to getting us any commentary this week. Assuming there's nothing of significance, we would then be in a position to move forward
to go to bid on that project. Like I said, we spoke with the representative from the CDBG office as late as this morning. She committed that she would get us the information we need this week. We also did some investigations of the outfalls around town. We had a list of somewhere in the range of 20, I believe it was, that we had mapped years ago with the stormwater rules and requirements. A number of those have changed. Down by the bridge, they changed one of the main outfalls there. So we did an evaluation, photograph, and we will be looking into picking the most suitable locations for some additional flat valves. We have some additional money from an HMGP FEMA grant. We have 3 in possession at the DPW yard that will be installed sometime in the near future by DPW. And we have some dollars left in that fund to pick and choose the most appropriate additional ones that make the most sense. So that's pretty much the high level on the report. I'll be happy to answer any specific questions.
We'll go to the public portion of
Yeah, I'm going to read his report. I don't know if anyone's noticed, Plainfield Utilities Authority has been out and they're jetting the sanitary sewer line. They will be here throughout the summer, so everyone knows. It's worked pretty well. It's actually worked while they've been in town. If someone needs to push through for the sewer, we send them over to the location and they work on it. They start work about 8 o'clock in the morning and they work till about 3 in the afternoon, 2 days a week. Weather permitting.
Is there a way to push out that, because this happened on our street, everything came up black and stuff came, and the water was coming out, and,
Like what?
it was coming up through the toilets and on totally brown when they were working on our street. Is there a way to, we should let the residents know that, because it's kind of like creepy.
Well, I can put out the zones that they're working on.
Yeah,
I can do that. I can put out a zone map because they have an area, since we have 4 different zones in the borough. We broke that up I have it color coordinated.
And the problem that happened on my street.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a problem at all. We can put that out on the website, okay?
I'll interject. That's very similar to when they flush the hydrants, the water mains, right? You get that same, you turn on the tap and it's brown. Now I know this is kind of the other kind of materials, but I think notification that don't be alarmed because of the pressurization of the sanitary mains. You do occasionally see some back pressure into the individual laterals.
Yeah.
It could be, but not always. Yeah, sometimes it's just the pressure of the jetting operation.
We did receive supplies for the drainage program that we have going on with the county assistance for Portland Road and over on Jackson and John. The castings came in, the different gravel, cement, and bricks have been ordered. So you're going to start seeing work go on probably within the next 2 weeks. You're going to start seeing some basement repairs going on up on Portland Road. I'm going to collaborate with the chief, see if anything needs to be closed down. We'll make sure it all works well. Summer camp, the registration is open, so if there's anyone that has any children that they'd like to get rid of for the summer, the camp registration open. We're really looking forward to the camp this year. We're going to have some themed weeks and programs and have some outside people come in to do some different types of instruction with the kids. So it's a learning process as well, because I'm sure, as you know, we don't want their minds going to waste over the summer months. I'm going to keep them nice and active. The Valley Street Drainage Repair Program, that's going to be going out to bids probably within the next 30 days. It's out for final review. So that's been being worked on. You'll also see, if you guys go down to Valley Street every so often, Our DPW has painted the stairs in the building, the cement part of the building, did a cleanup around, and we are putting up a new fence, and it looks pretty good down there. Outfall valves, they're scheduled for installation the week of May 29th, with the tides permitting. And that's really all I have right now. Make sure everybody comes out to the memorial, it's great. And make it look really good on Bay Avenue.
Once you get a solid number from the county, before you go, you have to bring people up here now.
Yeah, we'll put out, I have my contacts on Portland Road, so we'll put it out on the website under the projects portion on the website. And then we'll also, I have an email contact with the Portland Road.
If you can just about guarantee a shutdown of that street up by Riker, just a little bit north of that, while the shot goes on. So everybody's gonna go there, eat and work. When we paved the new street up on, by Eddie Hudson last summer, we got a lot of feedback, and people complaining that they didn't know that was happening. So a week or two in advance.
Yeah, I asked the county for a definite, 2 weeks, so they're supposed to get back to me by the end of this week, to give me a date when they were gonna start, so I'm hoping to give you guys about a week and a half notice before closing. And make sure we have.
You should make sure Principal Kinsmore is on that list.
They already are.
Okay.
I had a separate list written out of the schools, really not, that goes along with the, chief of police.
Chief, you have a report?
Mayor, just one thing, two things actually. There were two versus the bonfire on the beach. So if they come out and enjoy that night. Secondly, everybody got a copy of this. Those of you who don't see it, the May 30th, 7 o'clock, right here in this building, is going to be what we spoke about for some time down there. It's going to be a meet and greet. It's an opportunity for residents, business owners to come out and meet the officers and the civilian personnel in the Highlands Police Department. So you can put a name to the face of who you're talking to on the phone and get to meet some of our new officers and get to hear a little bio about them. So the flyers are right up front if you want to take on the way out. That's it.
In addition to that, we're hoping to have the judge, the prosecutor, the public defender here also, so you get a view of the whole court system along with the police. So take care of sending them that particular mark, that flyer thing.
Yeah, I've already sent information out to those.
Public works. Francie.
Chris Francis, 36 Smith Street. Two quick questions. Can I get an update on CRS program? At this point, what are we doing to get into the program? It's frustrating that Seabright, they had a 30% reduction in their flood insurance because they got in. So,
Mr. Francie, certainly, I've only been around here for a couple months, so I don't know the history. I understand the CRS program, one of the primary issues with the CRS is it's very data intensive. You have to maintain very diligent records, so there's some carrying costs with maintaining and operating the program, getting the baseline set up, making sure you have all the elevation certificates on file and available. So it is, the one report that you'll get is it's very data intensive. And the way the program works, they have rating categories from...
we all understand how the program works.
Okay.
Are we doing anything in the process? Are we doing anything to get into the program? Or are you saying it's too data intensive and we don't intend to?
I am in the process of starting to compile the data for the program, which would mean the elevation certificates for even all the borough buildings. So actually, we were just getting surveys this week. So we are beginning to get everything together, and we will follow through the process the best we can and to the best of our ability.
I hate to keep harping, but we saying are we at a point where the only issue is data not available, or is there other issues involved?
I don't think that it's the point that we've even spoken to anyone to be the CRS coordinator or gathering the proposal from any professionals to start the program. We have to first make sure that we have our own borough paperwork up to date, meaning that we need flood elevation certificates for our own properties first. And then we can move forward and I can do an RFP for CRS, for the CRS program.
Can I make a motion that we just do that right now?
Well, I don't think we're at that stage yet.
We're not.
Yeah, I think it's too
Because
soon.
wouldn't that CRS coordinator be instrumental and helpful to you getting a lot of this documentation?
Well, Brian, can you, dig in a little bit here? I know one of the requirements is that you have at least 2 years, correct me if I'm wrong, floodplain management, experience as a floodplain manager. So,
Correct.
you know, I
And then
know,
there's schooling.
and there's schooling, and there's a bunch of different things. I don't think you can just jump in.
That's the question for you can do it. No, wait, to take the courses through FEMA, you have to have those certifications. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do that to be a CRS coordinator, but I know that you can get in touch with, starting that process. That's as far as I know.
That's right. But it's not a thing that happens overnight.
No, but I think maybe you're misunderstanding. What I'm asking is why
We're not ready to RFP.
We're not- yeah. I don't think we're ready.
We're not ready. I'm actually in the process of meeting with other CRS floodplain coordinators to get more information to go about it the best way possible.
But wouldn't it make more sense to get somebody on board now that has already done it and already has all of these certifications to speed the process along?
It depends if we're gonna hire them as a consultant, an employee, what we are gonna need. We have to see how much data that we need to compile. This is a huge task. There is a lot of work.
We shouldn't be waiting
I have not
years.
budgeted clear with this. I mean, if you feel as though, like, we could, I think we should get more information before we decide which route we're gonna go, and see whether we allot for it in the salary and wage appropriation or the consultant appropriation. I want to make sure that the CFO is comfortable with certifying the funds for whichever route we go.
So the route is either to hire a person with the qualifications or
Get a
outside
consultant.
firm with the qualifications.
That's right.
Which is way more sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I,
You have four.
It's not standing still.
I can say.
so that, the CRS coordinator, does that have to have a floodplain manager credentials?
To
They
take
do
the
not.
FEMA courses, you do not, it does not for the particular position, but if you want to take the FEMA courses, it does require that.
And you want to have the FEMA courses if you're going to be the CRS coordinator. And it doesn't-
But the position does not require it.
First of all, we've had a floodplain manager for a long time, working for your company, sir. So, this concept that we're starting from this point, as in zero, ground zero, with CRS, is absolutely frustrating, considering how often we've asked about it, and how many commitments we've made. I can't believe you guys, I really can't. And I know you're embarrassed by it, but at this point, this is crazy. I don't know what to say.
Just for a little bit of clarity, sir, according to the CRS documentation, which what I started to say before was the rating classes from 1 through 9, right? You start out basically, the minimal efforts are 9. So before you characterize that Seabright or other towns are getting these huge discounts, I think that merits a little more conversation or consideration. Because they go in increments of 5%. So each category is a 5% reduction in the community-wide insurance.
We really do understand that, sir. We really do.
But my comment is, part of this has to also become a policy decision of how much taxpayer money does the borough want to fund at what expense. You have to kind of do a cost-benefit analysis. I don't know if that's been done to date or not. But if it takes all the effort to do this, and you're only going to realize a savings of X amount of dollars for X amount of people in the town, ultimately, as a policy, this council is obligated to understand the ins and outs of that to make a financial decision that is in the best interest of the borough.
And isn't there a requirement that a certain percentage of our homes have to be?
Well, part of one of the big triggers is compliance.
Right.
You have to have homes that are compliant. You have to strictly enforce the floodplain ordinance. And so you can't have it both ways. You can't
And
say,
we
well,
certainly have been enforcing the floodplain ordinance for the past 5 years.
I don't.
But I think we have to evaluate how many of our homes are compliant compared to what we have in our town, I think that's our first step.
Lynette, that's not a criteria. You're allowed to have homes that are not compliant as long as you are making them compliant, as long as you are making sure that whenever there's a 50% or greater development to that home, it is compliant. But an existing home that hasn't had that 50% development, or it is a 50% damage, it can sit there. They pay higher insurance, blah, 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 but that doesn't, in fact.
But that also affects where we fall on the CRS, am I correct on that?
That's a waiting. So the other issue is, there are still, I don't have a quantification of this, but there are still a significant number of homes that were declared to be substantially damaged that were not improved to comply with the ordinance.
And are not making movement to do that.
Now, there has not been a directive of enforcement from FEMA or any of the state agencies at this point in time. Originally, I believe it was going to be a four-year declaration that you had to mitigate within that 4-year period. They then extended it another 2 years. Now they've extended it again. So they keep pushing back the clock. Whether that's helping people or not, I'm not sure. But what it's doing is it's expanding that timeline out. So now you still have a significant number of homes in town that are not compliant, will not be compliant, and are technically obligated to be compliant. So that's an issue.
Only if they are 50% damaged, A,
Right.
or if they have a project done to them more than 50% of its value. In fact, we don't have many homes who are sitting here that are 50% damaged.
I think we really need to find that out.
Well, you withdraw, first of all, Dale, when he issued that letter, they have to say that if you live below Shore Drive, you are 50% damaged. That letter has been judged as having no bearing. You still have to go through your accounting. You have to show the damage. You have to show the estimate to repair.
To be removed from that declaration.
No.
Yes, you have it backwards. All the homes were declared substantially
I'm
damaged.
sorry, the letter is not acceptable to the ICC group, and it's not acceptable to REP, because it's not a valid declaration of 50% damage unless Dale had the record showing those costs, and he doesn't.
That's not
I
accurate.
believe that's inaccurate, sir.
I really,
That's not what the FEMA guidelines set forth. The burden is on the homeowner to establish whether it was, whether the 50% threshold was met, was not.
so by definition, it is not met. That's my point.
No,
It is
you have it
not.
in reverse.
Huh?
You have it in reverse. The
No.
substantial damage determination has been accepted, and we know that. We've been dealing with state agencies.
I'm sorry, I don't think that.
We're dealing with the Department, we're dealing with the Department of Community Affairs right now. Substantial damage determination letters that were issued when it's 50% or more of the equalized assessed value. That's been accepted.
No. Right, at this point, Dale sent out a letter the day after the storm.
And it said you were substantially damaged determination, right? You're 50% or more of the
Correct.
assessed. Correct.
And that letter
And you're
is
saying
not
that's not
acceptable.
valid. To whom?
To REM, not the ICC. So I'm telling you.
But where are you getting that information from? Because the Department of Community Affairs has accepted it.
Right, well,
REM is accepted as well because homeowners have received the REM program and also the landlord assistance program.
Oh, yeah.
So that letter has been used, and currently is being used. And the only thing that can be done at this point is the person, the homeowner, the landlord, can prove that they were not substantially damaged by crews.
And they
That
have-
is an
With
accurate
a
statement.
DEF.
You are right.
And they have to provide adequate proof, so it has to be like a detailed itemized statement, like an insurance adjustment that shows a line item of what was done and that it was less than 50%.
Well, this is a very, very frustrating conversation, considering what we've been asking about for 4 years about CRS. It really, really is.
Well, Chris, you have to consider also that the rules have changed repeatedly over the last 4 years. Stipulations have changed, requirements have changed, we've been dealing with trying to get a flood map adopted. There's a number of issues that have been going on that affect all of that.
You see, your participation in the CRS program is to help you get through some of these things. You don't have.
We are compiling the information to begin the process of entering into the CRS, so which I am familiar with, and we are moving on.
What is a reasonable timeframe to have an update, Mr. Herman?
To my knowledge, we were not specifically engaged to go with that program at this moment in time. If council wants to charge us with some cash to take this forward, we certainly be willing to
I
do
would
that.
recommend not doing it that way at this point. Follow through on Carolyn's choice of going out and getting a task-specific consultant. They exist.
Yeah, we're looking for that, so we don't need to look at sites. Okay.
It's a question.
Are you good, Chris?
I
know you're not good. You had belly full?
Another question, that's what it was discussed. I'm sorry, it was discussed casually at the Housing Authority meeting that there's a reduction in sewer costs coming, that Mr. Braswell said.
What? No, I did not. I will tell you what I said. I said there's going to be a reduction in the cost of operations. Cost of operating.
Okay, what about the reduction in my,
Some of that's happening now. I'm hoping, I haven't discussed it too much with my fellow council members, but Bay Avenue is supposed to be repaid. I'm hoping that before that happens and we get a 5-year moratorium on opening the road, that maybe we can get some of the sewer main and Bay
I was
Avenue.
just curious, there was a campaign process, a very strong campaign process.
Yes, and it's happening.
Okay.
Probably the more significant one is going to be the Shore Drive pump station. When we put the new pump in, it's going to.
It's not going to change I&I.
No, did I say that?
Well, that's what,
No,
that's what we need
no.
to get changed.
Yes, there's two things.
And all that, but.
The pump station is an extremely inefficient operation because of the old pump there. At the time, that was the only thing that would work.
Yeah.
But now with the new centrifugal pump, the electric consumption is going to be significantly less. And that means a lot to that building because that electric bill can be like $3,000 a month. And that, unless you change something, that's forever. So that's going to be a big.
Can I make a request that, absent me bringing it up tonight, I don't think we'd be talking about I&I. Can we have like a 3-month commitment to report on I&I projects?
There are I&I projects going on right now. They're replacing sewer mains and some of the downtown projects. So right on your street, Valley Street, all of those sewer lines are going to be replaced.
I've been hearing so much about Valley Street.
Valley Street's going to be done with the new project, the dry side of Atlantic to Washington from Shore to Bay. Every time that South Plainfield comes in, it cleans the system out, it's video, so we get an idea of where the problems are at.
Okay, thank you very much.
But you have to group this all together, Chris.
I
understand. But it is being worked on.
CRS is very disappointing.
Okay.
It really, really is.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sir?
Tom Zelinsky, 68 Portland Road. Very lucky I have no handouts for you today. But I did have a quick question on the resolution 1820 that you passed for Hillside and Portland Road. Does that include Riker, Ocean View, and Thompson, or is that part of the other project going on Portland Road?
That's part of it.
Okay, very good, thank you.
It's just basically a no and override. That's just.
No more choices.
Okay, since you decided that we can't ask questions on the resolution ahead of time,
5 or 10 minutes. But
well, I have a right
you
to
have a
ask
right to ask.
questions,
Right.
and I'm going to ask them.
And I have a right to say when they stop, so.
All
just
right,
so you know.
well, you can just cut me off,
Okay,
and
I
I'll
will.
move on, and that will
Just
be,
get done, please.
it will go to the newspaper.
Whatever.
Okay, number one, I sent a letter yesterday, but I'm not a concerned mom against whatever. So I guess it doesn't matter. But I sent a letter yesterday questioning some of the resolutions, 3 to be exact. And I asked that you consider these before you voted on them, and obviously you did not do that. I don't understand 115, hiring a professional reassessment service. You said you're just doing you're just getting a bid, but you're not gonna hire anybody? Because West New York will come in and bid, and they are awful. We have never had a decent assessment from them.
It's not a bid that we're doing, it's an RFP. There's a difference.
Okay.
Bids go to the lowest bidder, RFPs go to we weigh it out, and then we decide who will do
Are
the
you
best job.
intending to hire a
Yes.
reassessor? Well, I thought when you went with the county, that the county took care of that. I thought that was part of the original county program.
It was, but I don't believe they're letting us back into the program until this gets done.
Well, I think you ought to find out.
RDS was previously retained to do the reassessments. RDS was previously retained to do the reassessment when they were in the program before, but then they opted out, so now they need to get a new appraisal company. So this
Yeah,
is just
and
not.
West New York will come charging
Okay.
in and do a bad job. 117, I don't understand what happened there because, Carolyn, why did you second it the first time around? Why did you wait till we went to 118 to decide to second 117 and cause all that confusion? You didn't second 117 until 118 was introduced. 117 was already dropped.
Because of the reasons that I stated when I voted on it.
Yeah, but you never
I can't
seconded.
take my own personal circumstance into consideration when we're making decisions
Well, I
for
understand
the
that,
entire
but why
town.
not second it when the resolution is up? Why
Because
wait
I
until-
thought better of what I was doing and corrected a mistake.
Okay. I don't understand how you can transfer a liquor license when they're adding seats.
We're not adding seats, we went over that, we're not adding seats.
That's what they said.
I was down there, we're not adding seats, okay?
Okay. And resolution 18121, there were a lot of blank spaces in there. And why do we have to investigate or make a plan for the redevelopment of the trailer park? Doesn't the trailer park have to do that?
No, the governing body or the planning board prepares the redevelopment plan. This is a critical component of the redevelopment process, but it's either done by the governing body or the land use board. The governing body chose to undertake that task, and that's why they retained a professional planner. Once that redevelopment plan is prepared, the land use board obviously has a say with their comments.
Okay, it seems like we're doing a lot of double work.
Seems like you just don't understand.
Well, it can't be explained to me because you decided.
I'm just telling you the way the statutes are designed. So.
Okay.
And it was like, because they didn't make a decision, who's going to be on, they had to wait.
I also think that a copy of the survey that was supposedly presented at the 6 p.m. workshop meeting on May 2nd should appear on the agenda. Why are you having a workshop if you're never going to have those things on the agenda?
There was no survey.
It was
We
on.
discussed doing a resident survey, and I asked questions.
On May 2nd, it was said that it was done and it was presented.
If you go back to the videotape, you'll see that we
I've done it
discussed
100 times.
We discussed doing a resident survey where Kim wanted to ask residents different questions.
Oh, I'm not talking about resident survey, I thought it was a survey.
What survey are you talking about? A land survey?
No, the bid, survey,
Oh,
which Carolyn was gonna do.
Would you like a copy of the final report?
Sure.
I was gonna wait until the rest of the council had a chance to read it before I release anything.
Well, I thought you did it on May 2nd.
No, we were talking about something totally different. Kim Gonzalez wanted me to put another survey together to ask the residents questions about the town. And I said I'd put together anything she wants me to put together, we just have to decide on questions. It had nothing to do with HBP. That was about residents, that's why it was called resident survey.
I have to go back and look at the agenda for that meeting. I guess you have to keep the agendas for every meeting, so you know what's going on.
They're on the website.
Well, that's-
Steve Sala, 205 Bay Avenue, just going back to what Carol said, that's pretty wishy-washy, Carolyn, that's the second time we pulled a stunt like that. First was with this wall, She has an answer here, Steve. I know that, but, come on. Try to be professional. Second question.
When have I ever not been professional?
P&L, I just think that that's pretty shady business up there. That's
Shady?
my opinion.
Okay.
Second question. The P&L, complete P&L with the backups to the HBP first quarter, how'd you do on that?
Carla, did you not give that out to all the HBP members last year, once your budget was done?
First quarter.
The profit and loss statement.
Profit and loss is all the backup. Like, where the money went, short graphics, how much did that get, Steve, what you guys are doing? Yes. You have to address the table here. Well, I was interrupted. Okay, you still have the floor, sir. No, that's it. I just wanted to. I do have the request that you asked for about the cost. Thank you. Welcome.
Kim Sparker, Short Drive, on Resolution 18-117, the transfer of liquor license. Can you explain what the expansion is if it's not seating capacity?
It's not, what it
says
is
to
it's
expand
changed the long bar, instead of a straight long bar, it's now an L.
Okay, so they're moving the liquor license to cover more.
Exactly, and it's called an expansion because they are now going to be selling liquor in a spot where they no longer they did not used to sell liquor.
Okay.
So because it's going in a different direction, that's why ABC by law calls it an expansion,
Okay.
even though it's not a physical expansion.
Okay, now, the plans that they pulled from the land use board showed that they were going to have additional seating. Who is going to make sure that they don't sneak that in?
They were going to have additional seating of, I believe, 44 seats. It was going to be a rooftop something, and they decided they're not going to do that anymore.
Okay. On Resolution 18-118 for the parking, can you explain to me, with all the parking issues on Shrewsbury, why we don't need that lot for public use?
Because when we had it for public use, all of the bowling was a bowling yard for people's trash. That's all it was.
It was terrible. They would park trailers down there, boats would be sitting in parking spots.
And if you go down there now and look at the cars that use that public on the front side of the gate, probably most of them shouldn't be there either.
Well, that's not my problem.
I'm just telling you how it is.
Then, perhaps the borough should take care of that. I want to go back to something that Carolyn said earlier, that she went with Resolution 117 because you're upholding the law. I want to know why it's okay to uphold that law, but not force the business partnership to follow Ordinance 1802, where they're supposed to be using their money to rehab properties, not be the destination marketer for Highlands.
Well, are you aware that HPP sponsors a grant? At least the past 3 years, they've been doing that for businesses to beautify. They provide for signs, for awnings, for paint. And it comes in as a first.
They're supposed to put that in their goals and objectives, and when I question their goals and objectives, and that there was nothing in there for rehabbing properties in the business district, I was told, well, that's the way the report's always been done. Nobody came back to me and said, oh, well, here, we have these grants, and this is what we do.
Council President, do you want to, maybe give word on the grant that's out there right now? Because I believe there's still some grant money available through the HPC for the grant that's being offered right now.
There is money for grants, it's $1,000 per business, and as I said, it can paint, it's anything that's exterior, so say you want new exterior lighting, or a new sign, new paint, new windows. I think even a new door would be covered, so it's pretty much anything that's on the exterior of your building that would, like, help spruce up. And I wish more businesses would actually jump on it. I think it's 10 grants of $1,000 each, and something like that. I think 6 of them have already been reported, so there's another 4 out there.
Okay, if Maloney's does not take it on, perhaps they could, since they're besides chipping.
I know, it's really bad. It's really bad.
Maybe we can kind of just shove it in their hands.
Well, you can't force someone to accept a grant.
Are you good?
I just want to ask why we can't comment on the resolutions or ask questions before you pass them.
Because we have this going on too.
Well, see, this wouldn't have to go on.
No, it's gonna go on both ways, one way or the other. There's no satisfaction for it.
But by not allowing us to ask questions, it's no longer transparent and it's lacking the communication that I voted for people on. And I hope those people who said that they were going to be transparent and communicate with their constituents would help change that.
Okay. Thank you. Move to adjourn. That's all.
Do we have a second?
Have a second?
Yeah. I'll second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Broswell?
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan?
Yes.
Councilmember Diariga? Yes. Councilmember Ryan's absent, Mayor O'Neill?
Steve.